some ladies are saying that Neil Gaiman served them grape juice. The way it seems to me is that he acted it's like a huge jerk. He doesn't sound like a guy that I like from these stories.
No.
And it sounded like he did stuff that I don't think was cool. At the same time, this lady is telling a story that she was at his house babysitting his son, and then she was going to leave, and he said, listen, I have a tub in my yard. Why don't you take your clothes off, go in that tub, don't worry about it, go get in that tub. And instead of leaving, this is the picture of the tub she went to. And I said to myself, if somebody had a backyard, and I looked, and that's his backyard, and he has that weird tub there, that is not something like, if you're a woman, I don't think you take your clothes off and go sit in this tub.
Go take your clothes off and get in the sex tub is basically what this tree is saying.
I'm not sure as a young woman if I would just be like, yeah, sure, just gonna go hop in this tub out here in the yard.
And I can't imagine what would happen to Neil Gaiman if he said that to somebody like Vex Electronica. He'd get like slapped in the face and he'd be smacked in the head, Sean.
Hey, this is daytime too. You know there's got to be some trippy lighting on it at night. Like he's like, go get my tub. It's just like, wow, doing one of these things.
Right. I mean, I think this was in broad daylight, but man, would I think that would be weird. And then she's like, I was shocked that he actually took his clothes off and entered the tub. And I was confused, so I didn't know what to do. And again, I don't want to be mean here. You could get up and leave the tub, which you probably shouldn't have been in to begin with.
But then there's also people that would argue that, oh, it was overwhelming. I didn't know what to do. I was emotionally compromised. But in the end of the day, you're still an adult. You have a choice. You either...
And also what happens is that moving forward, this same lady seems to enter into some kind of, I don't know if to say it's a relationship, but she seems to be going along with this. Then only after like this very long period of time, she retroactively was thinking about the experience she went through, and she came to the conclusion that she was a victim. Now, the way he acted, he really, exaggerated with all of his BDSM. He sounds like a guy that didn't really talk to the ladies about doing this kind of thing before he did it. And maybe he was taking these kind of consensual relationships in very strange or maybe even unwanted directions. I guess what I'm saying is I don't think he's a saint in this story. I think that he seems to have a problem. But I also think that, again, not blaming anybody, but I think that if you're willingly hanging out in a bathtub and doing stuff, I don't know.
The world has lost its mind. And then we now find ourselves in this year where nobody is responsible for anything they do. So it's like, oh yeah, years ago, this happened. And it's like, well, duh. Like, you both ended up in that place making these choices. It's just like you're a dumb 90s goth writer and you have a bathtub by a tree. Yes, I see this scenario happening. And I can totally see the like groupies being attracted to him and then later regretting it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complicated situation, and I feel like he's the type of guy that picks up when there's women that are sort of don't have money, are in a bit of a pickle, and then he kind of steps in and really manipulates his way into this type of BDSM relationship with them, maybe doing things that are also not wanted by them. So I'm not saying that he gets out of this scot-free. I'm just saying that I'm just saying that these ladies at the same time, a few of them that were in this article at least, they seemed like it's not like he was the only option they had, meaning there were other options that they could have taken. So I think that in this situation, it's a very, very specific kind of thing where this guy is rich, he's a known writer, he has women that on one hand, they want something from him and they can benefit from him, but the other hand, he kind of is weird and they don't really like him. And he takes advantage of this whole situation, manipulates them, and does all this crazy stuff. So I don't know. It's like people were saying throughout the day, it's hard to really read that whole long article and think, oh, I really like this person in the story, or I really like this person. You kind of feel like you don't know who to like. You don't especially like any of them, really.